traveling around the world, I quickly realized that there were no borderlines or boundaries keeping me away from my dream of becoming a world traveler, except for one, and that is airline baggage policies. And I know I'm not alone when I say that overpacking is one of my biggest packing problems. I always have an issue with that. And the last thing that we want is to be that person next to the check-in counter digging through their stuff because their bag is overweight. Now, today I'm going to show you how you can maximize this space for any bag, not just a travel bag like a carry-on that I'll show you here, but you can also apply this for a diaper bag or anything that you have to stuff a lot of things into. So the first thing you want to do is lay everything out. This will help you visualize exactly what you have to work with, how much you have to pack. And the next thing you want to do is organize them by category. So we're going to be talking about 3 categories today: clothes, accessories, and also some toiletries, and essential like basic shampoos, stuff like that, conditioner. And then the last thing before we get started on the actual packing, you want to make sure that you have the right baggage. So one of the 2 main obvious things you want to look at when you pick out your baggage is the size and the compartment. So there's many different baggages, especially for traveling. Some of them only have one huge, a lot of them have little departments, and then others are just completely just empty. So you want to make sure that it's according to your airline regulations and appropriate for however long you're going to be staying. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the clothes. So I'm going to show you 3 different ways to kind of make your clothes smaller and thus fit more outfits for your trip. So the first one is called a bundling method. So basically what you do with this is you're going to stack your outfits up and then kind of put into a small square, which I'll demonstrate for you. So you go ahead and you start off with your biggest item. So in this case, it's an oversized sweater that I chose. And I'm just going to put this facing down. And then you kind of start building up from there. So I have here a t-shirt, and I put this the opposite way. And then I have a long sleeve shirt, which you kind of want to have a center square, and kind of just lay everything out. And then for pants, I don't own any pants, but I do have skirts, so I'm going to use these as a demonstration. You want to lay them to the side, so any long pants, leggings, skirts even, you lay them in the center, making sure that you do keep a center here. And then you end with some more t-shirts. And this is the last one. So when you finish layering your big items, you're welcome to put any small ones like socks, underwear, anything here, and then you start stacking them up. So you kind of make a little square with the first one, and then you continue doing that. So you put sleeves in, sleeve, and then you kind of pack it into a square. And you continue doing that with the other ones. And the next one. So you do sleeve, sleeve, pack, and then sleeve, sleeve, pack. And then you finish with your bigger item. And you will eventually end up with a little square. Now this is real sweet and simple, but I find that it's hard to organize. Once you get to your trip, you have to kind of take everything out. The next thing is the rolling method, which, as you can see, it kind of just takes your things and puts them in a small roll. And what you do with that is you take your regular t-shirt. I use my dad's t-shirt because it's bigger and you can see it better. But basically you want to start off with it rolling up the bottom for about like maybe 2 inches or 1.5 inches. And then you kind of just start folding it like you would with a regular t-shirt. And then once you're done with that, you take the bottom of it and you start rolling it up until you get to the last part. And you'll end up with this little flap that you ended up with. And you use this flap you turn it over, and then you have this roll. So it helps to kind of roll everything together like that. And then the last method is kind of using it, organizing your outfits through, organizing your clothes through outfits. So you pick your outfit that you want to wear, shirt, and then I have a skirt here, and I have some socks for my tennis shoes, and then you kind of just roll this up. So when I was doing research for this, and when I did travel, I tend to roll them up just because it's so you can fit more in them instead of stacking it over. So that is the clothes. Now for accessories, you kind of want to optimize what you have around here. So for shoes, you want to make sure that you use every space of it. So what I have here is I kind of tucked in little things, like you can tuck in your socks or your clothes that you don't mind having them in there, and that optimizes your space as well. And you want to make sure that for your accessories that you also, for example, when I tend to take belts on my trip, I do wrap them around my little rolls or bundles, and then you kind of have them with the outfit that you want to wear, and you keep that in there as well. And some toiletries as well. You have little compartments that you use to put them together, and you kind of organize them as well. You can use these pouches for tech, like your headphones, cables. Make sure that they're all in one space. And lastly, some kind of miscellaneous information is I use these drying sheets to kind of keep everything smelling fresh, and you kind of want to make sure that everything stays put and fresh throughout your whole thing. And I promise you, using these tips will help you maximize your space and will keep them smelling good. So hopefully you can use these tips and go to the airport security with no fear. That was a lot. Do you think